Mic check. So I'm just essentially getting set up. I'm not quite ready yet. This is fairly new for me, so forgive me. But we're gonna be jumping right into things. Uh, what I'd like to do is cover the let's see if I could open up a page here. Please let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Please let me know if you can see me. Just want to make sure everything's coming through the way it should. Let me know if everything is coming through clearly. Let me know if everything's coming through clearly. Okay, so today we'll be covering what the protecting the American dream means. It's super important for me to let you guys know how to protect your finances, protect your assets, and grow in your evolution of building up properties and making a lot of money. So, the first thing I'd like to do to start off by just explain to you guys who I am. My name is Rodrelle DeAndrade. Hi, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. And I've been in the business for something like 12 years and close over 30 plus million in sales in real estate, residential real estate. And for the last few years, I've been focusing and learning how to develop relationships with investors in by way of parking their funds into assets like multifamily real estate so that they can get a great rate of return that's beating some of the CDs and stock market performances of the world. And so that way they can compound their wealth. So today, again, the motivation, the goal, the focus, making sure that you know what you can do to protect your personal home by way of getting insurance. And insurance is so important today, it's overlooked, and people just think that, you know, it's not it's not the best investment because you never really get to use it. But there are so many people that are getting layoffs today, and it's incredible how much impact that loss of income is doing to their life in this current time. And then the other thing that I want to make sure I go over with you guys is multifamily syndication. What is it? Why is it so attractive? And why are people um, interested in doing this kind of a passive real estate investing strategy? The third thing I want to make sure I hit today is what do you do when you have multifamily real estate? Do you want to take care of the assets yourself, or do you want to have property managers, or do you want to have somebody that can help you navigate this without having to spend what property management costs, at the same time getting your property leased and taken care of at a quick time? So let's just jump right on into it. I'm going to share the screen here. And so the first thing you see is or what you should see is the protecting the American dream. Okay. Again, my name is Rodrelle DeAndrade, real estate professional. I've been in the business for 12 years. And yeah, been grateful to be in the Bay Area real estate area. The next thing I'd like to make sure is talking about the life insurance. All right, so what is this and why is this so important? Um, when you are a property owner, you're probably not thinking about why the banks have an insurance policy out on your property that you, the person who's living in the property, have to pay in order for the banks to protect the asset. You're probably not even thinking about it and you're probably not wondering what does it do for you? Well, the quick answer is it does nothing personally for you and it does everything for the banks. See, what the insurance policy that they have on that property does for the bank is it allows them to have that investment secured in the event that you're not able to make the payments. So if you stop making payments for any reason, their insurance policy is going to cover them on the costs of allocating that cost, or you know doing the whole eviction process and covering the actual expense of the asset itself. But what about you? Well, you get the notice that you're getting foreclosed on. You get your credit wrecked for 7 years, and you have to live with that. But what if you didn't have to? What if you didn't have to get the foreclosure at all? I mean, imagine if you lost your job, and because hard times came, you had some security, knowing that there was money saved up or money set aside specifically for this event. Or what happens if a spouse or a parent passes away and you have to maintain this asset by yourself at a moment's notice? You probably wouldn't have the means or the time to juggle this act, or at least get the arrangements in order for you either selling this asset or maintaining it. I mean, there's so many things that can come up, and you want to be able to navigate those situations as they show up. And your protection is in the form of a mortgage protection insurance. See, it may cost you between $50 and $500, depending on the size of the property, your personal health, and all other dynamics that come along with qualifying for insurance. But if you are able to have this security of insurance in the event of something like any of these items happening, the amount of stress that will fall off your shoulders would be immense. It would just be amazing to just feel focused on the current events or the current, situation that has come up, rather than looking over your shoulder wondering what's going to happen next, because you can't slow down or you can't stop, because life does not stop for us, right? So what is it that you are doing when you're getting this, and what does it look like? So mortgage protection insurance, it covers the coverage that pays your mortgage if life gets in the way. So your family keeps the home no matter what, protects you with the roof over your head, your family legacy, and the safety of your possible job loss. So you have to focus on yourself. The banks are focusing on themselves. Why not you, right? And then you look at this and you say, well, I am paying my property insurance and taxes, and I'm paying all this stuff, and I'm also paying the private mortgage insurance. Again, said it earlier. You're paying for the protection of the bank in the event of a default. It has nothing to do with you. Whereas The MPI, the mortgage protection insurance, is chosen by you. It protects you and your family. It pays off the coverage of the mortgage when you can't. All right. Next thing I wanted to make sure we hit on today is the multifamily syndication. It's very important to know what this is. It's what you want to invest in when you're trying to build up your board on the Monopoly table. I call it like that because that's the easiest way I see it. I mean, you play the Monopoly board and you go house, house, house. You get four of those and then you get a hotel. This is your hotel or proverbial hotel because you're going to get a significant amount of doors and they're all going to be monthly rentals for 12 months. So it's quite better than a hotel because it's not a daily rate, it's a monthly annual rate, right? So, what is multifamily syndication? It's a pool of capital with other accredited investors to own large apartment communities. You're earning passive income without being a landlord. The passive investor contributes to the fund alongside other operators, and that's what is called an LP, the investor's pool of capital. That's number one. Number two, the sponsors. We acquire and operate the property. The deal, the team buys, improves, and manage this asset. Number three, you as the investor, you get to collect your distributions. The cash flow is paid out quarterly, plus you get the upside when the asset sells. Why investors love it? This is the most common reasons why investors just love this product. It's a truly passive investment. Remember item number two that when the sponsors get it, they operate it, they improve it, and they manage the asset. So the LP, the number one in this category, they just get to sit back and collect the distributions and their tax incentives. Other reasons why investors love this, it's an appreciation and forced equity. What does that mean? Well, in my world, when we're looking at assets in multifamily syndication, we're looking for value add strategy properties. It's essentially a property that is a fix and flip, but on a larger scale. When you have assets like this and they're essentially a fix and flip, the property is not rented at its max potential, which is really good because once those rents go to the max potential, the property value shoots through the roof and you can either keep the asset or you can cash out and get your money from the deal. Typically a 5 to 7 year investment strategy. Other reasons why people love this, tax advantages via cost segregation. You get to do an accelerated depreciation on this asset. It's 27 and a half year depreciation. You get all of that up front. Okay, that's super amazing. And then what you have also is a preferred return for sponsored profit. Um, one this is important to have if you are a seasoned investor, because if the asset doesn't perform or for any other reason why it doesn't get where it needs to go, you can use this preferred return as a safety protection. It's almost like a hedge or some insurance, but it just guarantees that you get the money that you were due for the deal. The other things, diversification beyond stocks. Of course, you're probably having a stock folder or CD or some money market investment, but this is another avenue. and it's probably going to yield you significantly more than your 7% stock average annually. So that's why it's super enticing. Lastly, we got the strong target IRR. We are aiming for 15 to 18% rate of return. Now, if we find anything that's greater than that, then of course we're going to take those deals. But the goal here is to make sure that we're aiming for deals that are fruitful for the investor, and not just the investor, but the sponsor, the person who's running the deal. Because if you're making money, guess what? The sponsor's making money. And that's the name of the business, that everybody is making money, not just based on closing a transaction, but the actual performance on the deal. Here are some things that we look for when we're shopping around. On this right hand side of the screen, you'll see the indicators, which are important. We call them the key metrics. We have the debt coverage ratio. That is what banks look at when they're trying to give you loans. They want to know if the property is actually going to perform. So by looking at this, you get to see that if it's a 1.25% ratio, the property is not only breaking even, but it's making more than what it actually costs. You're making a profit at 1.25%, to say it simply. The average annual rate of return, 15% or higher. Again, with the IRR, another 15% or higher. Expenses, you're going to see expenses between 30 and 50%. Anything higher than that, you're probably not going to want it because it's not a fruitful deal. But if you can cut costs at places like property management because you figure you're probably going to manage it yourself, well, you just save yourself 10% of the actual net profit. So there are things that you can consider when it comes to expenses, but this is how we look at the deal. We want to be as close to 50% because we do want property managers. The percentage of the cap rate with the refi. That's in the event that you want to do a cash out refi. And of course, we want to make sure that the property has more than 60% of value in the refi because it has to get another loan, correct? So that's one of those indicators. The average cash on cash, people are looking for 6%, 7%. Sometimes you can find something at 8, but you would have to be extremely lucky. Those are hard to find. But again, cash on cash, we're looking at an average of 7%. These are some reserves and replacement costs, and it's important to have them. These are baseline for every transaction. And the last two things that are important is deal size. Deal size is important because if it's $1 million, it's probably not that many doors. The more doors, the more expensive it is, and the more doors you have, the less likely that there's going to be pressure on you when there's a vacancy. Because if you have 10 doors and one door is vacant, your vacancy rate shoots to 10%. But if you have 50 doors and one door is vacant, well, it's probably not going to be that big of an issue until you get to, like, I don't know, 5 doors. And the average vacancy rate is going to be between 5 and 8%. So the more doors you have, the better you are. And then the other thing was to sell in 5 years. That's if that's for the strategy of every property is different. Let's start there. And if there's a property strategy that is based on a 5-year sell, then fantastic. If it's a hold, fantastic. The idea is knowing what the investors are looking for and if the deal accounts for it. On this left hand side right here, you'll see what we are actually looking for. When we're shopping around, we're in the field, when we're vetting deals, this is the type of deals that we're looking for. I'm just gonna hit this because I wasn't sure if that was even gonna play. As you see, this property is filthy. There are some units that are completely ransacked, and then there are others that just needs one or two things to kind of fill in the gap. I'm not gonna spend 8 minutes just watching this entire thing, but I'm gonna flip through some of these so that way you can see what we're looking for and opportunities. So this is the office space, and I want to show you a completed unit. So this is like a refurbished property, a refurbished unit, I should say. This property had four renewed units, and everything else were basically ransacked. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that. So here's one right here that needed some help. And as you see, it looks like a tornado hit this unit hard. There's a pool right here, but the pool is empty. It's dry as a bone. These are indicators that you are able to fix the property up and get rents higher. The rents on these were extremely low as well, and so that's why this deal got snatched up. Very good deal, very, very great opportunity. Again, that's the type of deals we're shopping for. So, the full circle strategy: protect what you have and grow what you build. The two halves are a resilient plan, and it's important to know how to protect and to grow. Your mortgage protection, it keeps your family in the home, replaces lost income, and covers debt. Turns turns a tragedy into a legacy. Low cost, high peace of mind. The grow aspect, passive cash flow, no landlord headaches, appreciation on a large real asset. Powerful tax benefits, diversifies beyond the stock market. This section is for the real estate blueprint. This will allow you to learn how to get renters into your properties at a inexpensive way. Or if you are a person who owns many doors, then you can take advantage of the professionals who do this and not have to worry about the headaches of getting your properties rented for an inexpensive cost. Here's what you can be able to find on our school program, and it's super important that you take a look at that. It's a pick your path style of um, school.com, I should say. The done for you method is I run the comms and set the price. I build and syndicate the listing. I manage showings and inquiries. I screen and present the qualified applicants. And you review, approve, and hand over the keys. That's the done for you method. I do it all. You review, you sign off, and we have a blessed day. You can do it yourself as well. We can provide you with the step by step clarity path walkthrough, a copy paste text and follow ups and instructions, the pricing, comps, teardowns on weekly hot seats, screening guard lines, screening guardrails, which that would be one of the applications that we have for background screening. the approval and denial language done for California record keeping. We can put you in front of those tools so that way you can be the effective landlord that you are. Again, there is a step by step process in being the rental blueprint. If you'd like to learn more, just head over to rentallordsonschool.com. Lastly, if you have any questions, I would love to sit with you. Don't hesitate to contact me. My contact information is to the right of this page, and you can always reach out to me on Calendly, and I can talk to you personally to learn what your personal needs are and how we can get you to your achieve goals. Again, my name is Rodrelle. I appreciate you for stopping by and checking out this video. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns about the plans, about the programs, about the insurance or investment strategies, I'm here to talk to you. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to talking